Hi VC, Down Under Vinyl here with my second video. I just firstly want to say thank you to those that have viewed the video yesterday that I put up, my introduction. Thank you to those that liked it, and also thank you to those that subscribed. It means a lot. It's nice to know that stuff I'm putting up is getting viewed. I thought long and hard as to what I should do for my second video, and I've decided that I would concentrate on just one artist. Pink Floyd. They're an amazing band. I've loved pretty much every album that they've put out, which is a bit different for some people. A lot of people like their older stuff with Syd Barrett. Then there's obviously the middle era, I would say you call, with Roger Waters and David Gilmour at the helm. And then through to more recent times with just David Gilmour. No Roger Waters influence. I thought I'd show you a couple of the albums I've got. Firstly, I've got the only single I have of Pink Floyd is their second single, After Arnold Lane. This is See Emily Play. It was released in 1967. It's on the Columbia label. This is a UK first pressing. It plays quite well, gave it a clean on the spin clean, and it's great. It's one of my favourite songs from their early stuff, and it's a good addition to my collection. First album I've got is their debut, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, which was released in 1967. Amazing piece of psychedelic rock. Pretty groundbreaking when it came out, I would have thought. This particular issue is the 1983 release on the Fame label. I would love to be able to afford the original first pressing, but it's just a little bit out of my price range. On here, probably favourite songs would be Astronomy Domini and probably Interstellar Overdrive, the two big ones. I also like some of Barrett's more sort of light-hearted stuff, Bike and Scarecrow. All in all, fantastic album, iconic album cover. All the guys looking pretty psychedelic in their clothes with the kaleidoscope effect. Awesome work. Next up, I have Pink Floyd's second album, Saucerful of Secrets. This one was released in 1968. This particular copy is actually a first edition Australian copy, which is nice to have. It's on the Columbia label. This one was obviously released in 1968. Set the Controllers for the Heart of the Sun, probably my favourite song on this album. It's awesome. Corporal Clegg is good fun listening to. Great addition in my collection, and I listen to it quite a bit. Next up we have Metal from 1971. This particular copy is an Australian first pressing, gatefold sleeve with that incredibly well-known photo of the four boys. Such a great shot, love it. This one is on the Green Harvest label. How can you go past Echo's entire side of the record? Amazing piece of music. What I would say probably one of their best songs that they ever did. Yeah, great work. Next up we have the album that everyone should have in their collection, as they say, the one that was in the charts for God knows how long, many years. Dark Side of the Moon. You don't even really need this label to know what it is. The Prism with the light going through it, such an iconic album cover that anyone, even a non-Pink Floyd fan, probably knows what it is. I've actually got two copies of this. This particular one which is a much nicer copy, belonged to my parents. It's a first pressing Aussie quadraphonic one from 1973. Again, gatefold with the pulse going through. Got the other copy very recently in a box that I was given by a workmate, which was lovely. Songs on here, I'd probably say Breathe, On the Run, Great Gig in the Sky, great song by Wright. Us and Them, and then probably Eclipse would be my favourites. I know a lot of people say it's their favourite album or their best album. I probably would disagree. I think the next album is probably my favourite Pink Floyd album. So, going on to the next album is Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. Again, another iconic album cover. The Burning Man, great photo. Man in the desert on the back. And then lovely gatefold. This gets echoed later in their career. This sort of cloth hanging in the air in High Hopes, their video clip. I think it's High Hopes. Great artwork there. Amazing album. Obviously best known for Shine On You Crazy Diamond, which is their tribute to Syd Barrett. All the parts of the song are fantastic, and the other songs in the album, like Welcome to the Machine, Have a Cigar, Wish You Were Here, all great songs. It's definitely my favourite Pink Floyd album. It's, I think, the first album I remember listening to from the Boys. I've got this particular copy is an Australian first pressing from 1975. I also have the 2011 US remastered pressing on 180 gram vinyl. I do have the black sleeve for it somewhere. It's probably in my cupboard. I listened to the remastered one probably a little bit more just so I don't play this one. But the original is obviously on the CBS label with the robotic hands, shaking hands. Great album. The next album I have is their other iconic album, The Wall, released in 1979. I've used the word iconic a lot with this band, but I don't think it's unwarranted. I think Pink Floyd really are an iconic band. They released a lot of iconic albums in quite a short space of time as well. In the late 60s, early 70s, they released a lot of albums back to back that were groundbreaking and really amazing pieces of work. This particular copy with the great gatefold is a French first pressing. I also have the sticker, not sticker, but it's like a plastic thing that was originally on the front, which is kind of cool to have. Obviously this is Roger Waters' probably greatest work. An amazing album, amazing concept album with far too many songs to name. Obviously it's on there. Great little personalised labels with the crazy Pink Floyd drawings. Next album I have is Pink Floyd's A Momentary Lapse of Reason. This particular copy was released, it was released in 1987, and this particular copy is actually a Aussie promo first pressing, which was kind of cool. I actually only noticed it when I was going through our records for this video that it was a promo. With the label, so it's kind of cool to have that. Obviously this was the first album to be released after Roger Waters left after the final cut. So it was David Gilmour, Nick Mason, Richard Wright. I would say Learning to Fly is probably my favourite song on the album. It's actually one of my favourite Pink Floyd songs in general. On the Turning Away is another great one. Dogs of War. Some great songs on here. I wouldn't say it's one of their best albums, but it's definitely a good one to listen to every now and then. Sadly, I don't have the Division Bell, which was released in 1994. I would love to get an original pressing of that, but it goes for quite a bit of money, so I will at some stage fork out to get one of the remastered issues. I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. However, I do have their last album, which was released in 2014, The Endless River. Now this album again has caused a little bit of controversy with Pink Floyd fans. Some saying that it's basically just leftovers from the Division Bell and they've just polished them up a little bit. It's not a particularly good final album. I disagree. I think it's a great parting gift to us fans. Yes, there's obviously some similarities between this and Division Bell, but a lot of it was recorded at the same time, and I'm fine with that. I think all the songs are great. Louder Than Words, the only song on the album with words, I think is a nice little parting song. I also think it's a good tribute to Richard Wright. He was an amazing musician, and I really like the album. I think it's great. It's definitely not one I don't think you can listen to it over and over and over again, but it's really nice to put on every now and then and just mellow out and just have it in the background and just listen. I like a lot of the songs on it. None in particular that are greater than the others. I think just in general it's a really good album. So the last record I have isn't exactly a record, it's more of a compilation, I guess you would say, of two of the first albums of theirs, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn and A Source Full of Secrets, and it's called A Nice Pair, which was produced after Dark Side of the Moon, before Wish You Were Here was released. Great album, cool photos, nice gatefold. This particular copy is an Australian first pressing on the Green Harvest label. There are a few photos on here, this one here and this one here, which was censored on some copies because it does show female breasts. So yeah, if you haven't been able to pick up the first two records, this is a good option. So yeah, that's basically my Pink Floyd collection. I'm hoping to fill the gaps at some stage this year. I know we probably won't ever get any more Pink Floyd records. There was one released for Black Friday. One released for Black Friday, which was some of their old music, to recontinue their copyright. So I'm hoping that will get re-released to the general public at some stage this year, because the EP costs a fortune now online, and I don't really want to pay $400 to get a copy of it. I hope you liked my second video. I've got plenty more to come. I think I'll probably do a few more band spotlights and concentrate on a few more of the bands that I love. And once again, if you like the video, make sure you click like and also subscribe. I'd really love it, and make sure you share my video if you also found it interesting. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep on spinning.